Hey, this is the second year of the Oscars. This is the ranking of the Best Picture nominees. I took a journey watching every single nominee. I will show them in the order I ranked them, with the one I think should have won last for the big reveal. Go back and watch the first video if you haven't watched it yet. The Patriot is a silent historical drama directed by Ernst Lubitsch, notable as one of the last silent films to be nominated for the Academy Award for Best Picture. It tells the story of Paul I of Russia, a mentally unstable and tyrannical czar, and a loyal officer torn between his duty and the need to stop the emperor's madness. The film is a partial adaptation of Alfred Newman's novel and was praised for its performances, especially Emil Jannings as Paul I. Most of the film is now lost, with only fragments and a trailer surviving, so unfortunately I couldn't watch it. I really wanted to, though. It looks like a good one. What you're seeing on the screen is the trailer. The Hollywood Review of 1929, released in 1928, which doesn't make much sense, was a musical review film that showcased the talent of MGM stars, making one of the first major sound films. It was a star-studded showcase for the transition from silent to sound cinema. It featured performances from iconic stars and had a variety format, including musical numbers, skits, and comedy routines. It was one of the first films to integrate synchronized sound with the musical genre, laying the groundwork for the future of sound films. It was more of a spectacle than a narrative film and hard to get into unless you just like showy theatrics. The Broadway Melody is a landmark musical directed by Harry Beaumont. As one of the first full length sound musicals, it became the first film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. The story follows two sisters, Hank and Queenie Mahoney, who arrive in New York to make it big on Broadway. Queenie lands a role in a Broadway review and becomes romantically entangled with a wealthy producer. The film was a major success at the time, and unlike the Hollywood Review, featured a story to go with its musical show. However, I was still not a huge fan of this because it lacked good dialogue and focused mainly on the musical parts of it. In Old Arizona, directed by Irving Cummings, was a pioneering Western film that became the first major talkie Western. Based on a story by O. Henry, it follows the exploits of the infamous bandit, the Cisco Kid, played by Warner Baxter. Set in the deserts of Arizona, the film introduces sound to the Western genre, with much of the film relying on outdoor sound effects and simple dialogue. Warner Baxter's performance earned him an Academy Award for Best Actor. Not only was it successful commercially, but it also marked a major step in the evolution of the Western genre, which would go on to dominate the sound film era. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It ranks about an 8 out of 10 for me. That's high for a lot of people, but I love Westerns and thought this was a solid, entertaining movie. Alibi, directed by Roland West, is a crime drama that tells the story of a man on trial for the murder of his wife. Starring Chester Morris and Betty Compson, it blends elements of the detective genre with a taut psychological drama. The film revolves around a complex love triangle and the twists and turns of a criminal investigation, creating a suspenseful atmosphere. Alibi is significant for its use of sound and heightening the tension. Although it retains much of the visual style from the silent film era, this also ranks 8 out of 10 for me. Once again, a little high for most people, but this genre is another one that I love, and I found this movie to be quite enjoyable. And so it is my pick for the best picture of this year. There you have it. Those are the rankings for the second Academy Awards for Best Picture. Be sure to like and subscribe and join the conversation. Comment to let me know which one was your favorite and why. I am interested in knowing if anyone else is as crazy as me to watch every nominee ever. Check back for year 3.